Demand for new homes in Overland Park is incredible right now, and builders are doing everything that they can in order to keep up with all of that demand. In this video, we're going to unpack 7 new home communities, brand new subdivisions in Overland Park, 2 of which maybe you know about them, maybe you don't, but there are 5 that almost 90% of people don't know about because they're still being approved, the roads in the community are still being paved and developed, or they just opened up for lot reservations, which means you get to be the first in line to pick the best lot with the best acreage and the most amount of privacy. Let's get started. Community number 1, you most likely have heard about it, is Sundance Ridge. This is basically in Stillwell, Kansas. Yes, in Overland Park. Yes, in the Blue Valley schools, and it's right up next to State Line. So basically on the other side and just around the corner, you've got Loch Lloyd, which is where Patrick Mahomes is building his huge complex. So you could basically live a mile, 2 miles away from where Patrick Mahomes is going to live. Just super cool. But that's not the coolest thing in this community. It's the amenities. This is one of the most deluxe amenities packages I've ever seen. If the on-site amenities like the pool, the trails, the parks, etc., if that's important to you, Sundance Ridge is one that I would absolutely look at, because they spent over $5 million on just their clubhouse, which the main level, you've basically got an event or an entertaining space. The lower level, you've got a fully built out gym. To the left of the clubhouse, you've got an entire gymnasium dedicated to volleyball and basketball. Inside of the gated pool, you've got 2 pretty good sized pools, a slide. Outside of that area, you've got playground, bocce ball courts, pickleball courts, of course. And not only that, but in each different neighborhood, which there are 3 of, you've got entirely stocked fishing ponds. Last but not least, you've got trails connecting every part of this community eventually to that clubhouse. Now, the prices in this community range from $600,000 all the way up to over $1.5 million. This is also the site of the new Blue Valley Elementary School, which will be developed in the next 3 to 5 years, and there will be over 700 home sites just in Sundance Ridge. If you're interested in it, go ahead. There's a link in the description. I filmed a whole video about it. Again, the most competitive amenities package I've ever seen in one of these communities. It's going to be very difficult to find something that even compares to this one. Now, the second new home community that's new-ish, the last of the new-ish communities we'll cover on this list, is Wilshire Hills. So we're going to pull the map back up on the screen. We're going from Sundance Ridge to the location marker just west of I-69. So it is nestled in an area with mature trees, which is one very key difference. A lot of these new home communities are entirely cleared and paved right away. For example, it's very much the case in Sundance Ridge. Well, they preserved a lot of the mature trees in this community. It also happens to be, instead of 700 home sites, just 70. In fact, here's the plat map. You can see there are a lot of cul-de-sacs. This is about 36 acres of land, which tells me that a lot of these lots are well over a 1/4 acre, possibly 1/3 of an acre, or even a 1/2 acre, which is a lot of land. Now, the prices in this community range from $700,000 all the way up to over $1 million. You've got some of the best builders around, some similar builders that you'll find in Sundance Ridge. So you've got Rozier Homes, you've got Don Julian, you've got Wheeler Homes, James Engel, and of course Rodrock. They're all building there. Some of the homes that are available to purchase right now are a little bit smaller, closer to that $700,000 range. But as more of these builders start to build their spec homes, you can expect more expensive homes that are a little bit bigger. So you'll have a wide variability to choose from. Now, while you do have those mature trees, which are providing a visual and sound barrier for even more privacy, a community like this that's a little bit smaller often does not have an amenities section. And it certainly doesn't have the big gymnasium or anything like that you'd find in Sundance Ridge, but it does have a clubhouse and a pool, which is a nice added touch and adds to the small type of community feel that you can probably expect in this exact community. Number 3 is Southern Meadows. I think this is the biggest one on the list. We're going to head back over to Sundance Ridge, and then right around the corner off of 186th and Mission, we've got Southern Meadows. This is over 500 acres, and while Sundance Ridge will eventually amount to maybe a little over 700 homes, Southern Meadows is going to be over 1,200 homes, thousands of people just in this community. And while they'll kind of have different neighborhoods, kind of like Sundance Ridge does, that's a lot of homes. To give you a little bit more context, here's an aerial shot of exactly how much space that takes up. I mean, you're taking up blocks and blocks and blocks of space that has never been developed ever before. Now, the prices are very competitive with Sundance Ridge. They're priced from the 500s all the way up to over $1.5 million. And while Sundance Ridge has a dedicated neighborhood that's specific to the very high-end custom builders like Star Homes, where you can expect to see homes well over 1.5, possibly close to 1.2, I'm sure Southern Meadows will have some type of equivalent. But on that lower end, if you've got your hopes up, this does happen to be in the Blue Valley School District, which means those homes priced in the 500s are most likely going to be villas, maybe two-car garage, maybe even double-sided villas. We will just have to see because a lot of these details are still emerging. Here's a picture of the plat map so you can see the first phase of development. Some of the builders that you'll see here are Doyle Construction, James Angle Custom Homes, Lambie Custom Homes, SAB. You'll see Inspired and Gabriel Homes. All of these builders build in several communities in this area, and you'll find some of them in some of the other communities down this list. So that was only the second new home community in this Stillwell area of Kansas. It is outside of Overland Park, but is in the Blue Valley School District. We're gonna head a couple streets over from Mission Road to Metcalf and 183rd. So this is number 4. This is a Rodrock community. There's no name for it yet. It's still in the process of being approved by the city. There's some local opposition that could prove to be a problem, although it's got the blessing of Overland Park so far. If you'd like to hear more about this, because this entire area of Overland Park is poised for significant growth, with already from those first 2 communities we talked about, over 2,000 homes to be developed there. Now, this will only make that even more in demand. And I'd expect this to be the fastest growing area of Johnson County. If you'd like to hear more on that, I'll leave a link in the description. Filmed a whole video. Feel free to check it out. You'll get even more insight as to what that'll look like. Now, this particular community, it's about 36 acres. We just assume that each home is at least on a 1/4 acre of land. We're probably going to be somewhere around 100 home sites in this specific community. And you'll notice on the map, we'll get that picture back up on the screen for you. Not only are you right off of Metcalf, which will make going north and south pretty easy, but you're right off the highway and not close enough to the highway where you're going to hear a bunch of noise, because it's not like this is the intersection of I-35 and 435. This is a pretty lower trafficked highway, and it's not something that should be a problem, although that'll change as this entire area continues to be developed. Now, again, this can't be approved, but you could probably expect comparable Rodrock amenities, just not quite to the scale of Sundance Ridge. So you have 0 entry pool, probably a slide, probably a playground outside, trails connecting the community. Now, quick interruption. If you're enjoying the video, let me know by hitting that like button below, and I've got one more thing for you in addition to all of these new homes. If you're interested in buying or building a new home, I would love to work with you. When I do this research, oftentimes I come across hidden inventory or homes that are never quite listed in the MLS or Zillow, which means that I get to serve those up to you on a silver platter, so you're the only one that knows about them. If you'd like to talk about what that looks like, by the way, this is my dog Oscar. All my contact info is in the description. Give me a call, text, or email, and we can set up a time to talk. We're gonna get this guy outside, and we're gonna get right back to the video. Number 5, it's also on 183rd Street, but it's on the other side of I-69 along Pflumm Road. So you can see kind of on the map, we're just going straight horizontally across the map, past the Overland Park Arboretum. And if we zoom in a little bit, you'll see 2 new home communities just to your north. It's not labeled, but you can see the Coventry Valley Clubhouse, brand new home community. You've got a brand new elementary school right there, which is Aspen Grove Elementary. And then you've got Summit Homes South Point. Now, I believe that this community will fall in the Spring Hill School District. And that's because even though it's across the street from a Blue Valley Elementary School, South Point and even the last phase of Coventry Valley will both be in that Spring Hill School District. So that's one word of caution I want to leave you with, not quite Blue Valley schools. Now, while this is another one where we don't quite have a name and it's still undergoing the approval process, most likely it's going to happen. You're surrounded by new home communities. I can't think of an argument for why this would not be approved by the city, but lo and behold, you've got 76 acres of land. And here's an aerial to kind of give you a better idea of what that actually looks like. Now, apparently the minimum lot sizes will be about 8,000 square feet. which will amount to 300, maybe 400 homes, at least in this community alone. Now, that's all the information I have on this. It's a developing situation, and if you subscribe to this channel, most likely at some point in the future, have a full-blown video on each of these communities when they're finally approved and they start development, and you can purchase homes there. Subscribe so you're the first to know about them, and we're gonna move on to number 6. Now, these last two communities that we're going to discuss are categorically distinct from all of the others in this video. All of those other communities have hundreds and hundreds of homes being built in them, aside from Wilshire Hills. But these two communities that we're about to discuss, a lot of the homes there are going to be $1 million plus homes that are entirely custom built from scratch, not a floor plan that a builder's built several times over, entirely custom homes. Now, you'll see Matt Adams' name attached to a lot of luxury high-end communities, and these two are no exception. They're both in the Blue Valley School District. In fact, they're directly south across the street from some of the best schools in the Blue Valley School District. And another thing that you'll see in Matt Adams' communities is that the builders are vetted very, very carefully. See, the biggest issue when finding the best home and the best builder is choosing a builder that has really good quality that you can trust. Matt Adams vets all of the builders and even their materials that they're using and the floor plans, so you know exactly what you're getting ahead of time and you don't have to worry about that headache. So community number 6, the first one of the Matt Adams communities, is the Sanctuary. This is a brand new community that I don't think has even started development. You might be able to reserve a lot or two. Here's what the plat map looks like. It is totally tucked away in nature. You'll have over 200 homes, but again, this isn't like a 1,200 home community, and all of the prices range from $800,000 and up. And my guess is a lot of these homes, unless you buy them right away, are probably going to be well over $1 million. Now, another thing to note is the builders are even categorically distinct. In fact, a lot of the builders that you'll see, I'll show a picture for you, and just scrolling down all of the builders, a lot of these folks are only building a handful of homes a year. It's because when you look at some of these home builders like Star Homes, the homes that they're building are several $1 million. They are entirely custom, floor plans drawn up from scratch. They are showstoppers. Now, as you can see on the plat map, there are several lots that have already been reserved and plenty that you can still choose from. The 3 different categories of lots that you can pick from are the estate-sized full acre lots. You've got the meadow-sized lots that are about a ½ acre, and then of course you've got the manor-sized lots that are about a ¼ acre. Now, 2 more things to note. You're basically down the road from the Overland Park Arboretum and Botanical Gardens. You're also right around the corner from Heritage Park, which has hundreds of acres of rolling green space. So not only do you have amenities in the community that we'll have more information on soon, but you've also got off-site amenities that are just impossible to beat. The last Matt Adams community, it is right around the corner from the Sanctuary. On that map of all of the communities, you can see it's just across the street basically. I'm going to show you the exact footprint for this community. Here's a kind of an aerial shot that'll show you it's just to the east side of Quivira. It's north and south of that street, which is West 167th Street. Now, this is very close to 2 other Matt Adams communities, one of which has sold out, Mills Ranch. The homes were priced back when they were selling homes and you could buy a home there. They were priced from the $600,000 and up. In 2023's high inflationary environment, roughly probably translates to $850,000 as the low entry point. Now, Mills Ranch, however, does have several homes that are still available to be purchased, and the home prices there are about $900,000 and up. By the way, here's a plat map so you can get a good picture of exactly what Mills Ranch looks like. Now, Mills Village will be about 31 home sites on about 10 acres of land. And I would anticipate, based on those other 2 communities nearby, that we'll likely see an entry price point of around $800,000 and up. So there you have it, 2 new-ish subdivisions in Overland Park and 5 brand new ones, most of which are still being approved by the city. But long story short, my goal with this video is to make sure they're on your radar so that if they do pique your interest, you're one of the first people in line to be able to pick the best lots possible. And if you'd like any help finding the best lot, choosing choosing the best builder, or even finding that hidden inventory that just doesn't make it to the MLS, I would love to set up a time to talk with you and make sure that we can get you in the best home and that you're getting the most value for your money. So all of my contact info is below. Give me a call, text, email. I answer personally. I'll get back to you very quickly. We can get it on the calendar so that you know all of your options and they're right out in front of you. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button to see other videos like this, and I will see you on the next one.